Om Gau Sharata Hrim Iram Sunadijam Mayin Sima Vivekananda Namaha Om Amritam Vivekadiyam Namaha Idam Panargam Mayin Sima Vivekananda Namaha Madhye Madhye Amritam Paniyam Samarpayami. Vivekanandaya Namaha. Om Edagana Pushpam. Om Edagana Pushpe. Om Edagana Pushpe Brahmanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Yoganandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Niranjananandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Premanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Shivanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Kananandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Vijnanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Advaitanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Ramakrishna Nandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Aim Tribhurathitanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Adhutanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Priyanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Yoganandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Sharanandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Shubhoranandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Adhiranandaya Namaha. Edagana Pushpe. Om Gaurianandaya Namaha. Om Edagana Pushpe. Vivekananda Sri Ramakrishna Parashudevatabhyo Namaha. Om Bharatatya Saradiro Ramakrishna Samagnaya Yodharma Stapayorato Vidisham Tam Namanyaham. Om Namo Dharma Pradipaya Vivekananda Surya Kriya Shakti Sarupaya Swamine Shivarupini Swamine Shivarupini. Om Vivekananda Sri Ramakrishna Parashudevatabhyo Vivekanandaya Namaskaram Samarpayami. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai
guide us through and through, and ever protect us with thy loving presence. Om, peace, peace, peace. Well, today we are blessed to have Swami Bhajanananda Saraswati. And many of you know him. He's in Kali Mandir. He has a lot of podcasts. He tells a lot of stories. And he's just a wonderful sadhu. And so today he's come all the way from Kali Mandir to do the puja. As you saw, he knows puja inside out. When I first started the puja, I actually went to Kali Mandir, and he spent, I think, 4 hours with me, just going over the entire puja and the meaning behind it. So he's one of these very few souls who gets to travel to India every year. And so he spends somewhere between sometimes 6 weeks to 3 months. And so, and he gives classes and lectures in Kali Mandir and pujas. So really fortunate. Today, I've asked him, because he's so well versed in Mother Kali, to talk a little bit about the Mother Kali Temple in Dakshineshwar, and also what's the significance, and also its relationship with Kali and with Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. So for the next 45 minutes, please stay tuned and be transported to the magical world of Swamiji and Mother Kali. Is it on?
I don't know. Yes.
Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Devi Matriksha Mangalam Mangalam Bhakta Bindegyo Sarvalokaya Mangalam. So it was a very special. The last few days we're flying. Yesterday, Titi Puja for Swamiji was yesterday through today, Saptami, and so we didn't plan to do a big puja yesterday. We have to do something for Swamiji. We cannot ignore Swamiji, you know. Our temple is a little bit puja oriented, right? So there's a lot of pujas. So it's like, oh no, another puja. People look forward to the puja, we're like, oh no, another puja. But somehow it worked so beautifully. The puja went smoothly. Ushama cooked a nice Bengali meal and a special cake that's only made twice a year on Swami Vivekananda's birthday and Thakur's birthday. It's the most opulent cake I've ever had in my entire life. And then during the puja, then also the Pandit, there's a wonderful Shaivite Pandit from the local temple here, the Shiva Vishnu Mandir. And he came and he was chanting, just spontaneous, no one was coming, he just came and chanted. The whole night, the whole day was beautiful. And in the evening, usually we have satsang on before Arati. And I was thinking, there's already a whole day puja, we don't need to give a talk, you know. And people are tired, I'm tired, everybody else is tired. But then I thought, this whole puja with Swami Vivekananda is about cake. I think we should also read something or think something with Swami Vivekananda. You know? Swami Chaitananda he's the one that told us to start giving satsangs at Kali Mandir. He says, otherwise our religion becomes bell ringing and charamrita. A little philosophy we need to know, we need to study, we need to practice also, learn something. Not just, people come, they ring the bell, they take chartamrita, they put kumkum on their head, you know, and that's very powerful and wonderful. But also, as followers of Swamiji, we're also meant to think deeply about these things. So we read from his Parliamentary Religions talk, the first, actually the only written paper that he read. That's the talk on Hinduism. If you think when he came to the Parliamentary Religions, he didn't come with an invitation. You know, he went, but not fully invited, kind of invited, right? And so he didn't have proper credentials. We know, we heard the stories how he eventually got introduced and how the credentials before the opening day. And then he gives his address, that famous Sisters and Brothers of America address, right? Very short, on September 11th. 108 years to the other September 11th. Very interesting. The world's response to his request to end violence between religions. Like what it said, he says, may the bell that rings today be the death knell of all violence between religions and uncharitable feelings. So not yet. So we still have some work to do for some of these ideals. But then the next talk, the talk on Hinduism, was about 6 days later. I didn't really know it was 6 days later. And all the people coming and reading papers. That's what you do at conventions. You read a paper. Right? Swami has done. We don't think he sat there and read papers. He didn't prepare a paper. So this is what he prepared. And the 9 volumes this is the only, as far as I know, I think Swami Chaitanya also, I asked him, he said, this is the only lecture he gave that he read. Everything else he spoke extemporaneous, what's the word?
Extemporaneous.
Last night I also said it wrong. Once I get it wrong, it's wrong. And so you see 9 volumes and almost no repetition. All original thought, no repetition, right? And no preparation also, because of course his whole life of preparation. And if you there's people annotating the complete works. You see every verse is from some scripture. One talk he summarizes some scripture. Really brilliant how he could speak like this. But this is the only prepared talk, right? And it was called on Hinduism. If you think of what was his. It's not exactly the first Hindu. We always say he's the first Hindu to speak or preach Hinduism. Not exact. There was other Hindus on the stage that day, and people come, but they all paled in significance once he presented his paper, right? And he derailed the whole parliament, because the topic. I remember if you go a few lectures into it, one of them is like, I was told that my topic is now I'm supposed to criticize Buddhism. This is what they do. The purpose of the parliament wasn't a congress of unity of religion, right? It was actually subtly, the agenda was actually to show the foolishness of most religions, right? And that was actually the express theme. Swami Bhajanananda in his letters he pointed that out. When he was invited to other congresses and other parliaments, they told him only talk on history, because you see in that Hindu at the end he says, look at he said, all these people have value, may they all be successful in preaching the highest ideal of unity and tolerance. He created a new agenda. He spun the parliament into a fight between religions to the unity of religions, right? From his opening talk, his opening statement, very powerful. That's a beautiful thing. There's no fanaticism. There's no, I'm the new prophet. I'm the final prophet. This is the highest realization. Talk will never say such a thing. No one else will prompt it, right? You won't hear that here either, except Sri Ramakrishna. He's the only way, right? But love for the Divine Mother will drive one to it spontaneously. And so Sri Ramakrishna, we know that Swami Vivekananda in his glorious life, short but glorious life, he did Mother's work, without a doubt, right? And a lot of it was done here, so we're the heirs of his tradition here too. But that child of the Divine Mother who did Mother's work, Thakur held the key. But those keys, that's a very nice symbol. Those keys are still around, laying around somewhere, right? We can also find those keys. So one of my favorite, of course, we're aspiring devotees of the Divine Mother, so we also looking for Kali statements that make us better than everybody else, right? And appropriate response. But what Thakur says is exactly this idea of thinking, God, you are my mother, I am your child, right? He says this is the final word of religion. This is the final word of spirituality, Thakur said. Right? It's a very big thing. And Kali, the very misunderstood goddess, and there's many ways of worshiping her, not all of them safe, not all of them clean. Right? He practiced at the 64 tantras, but when his disciples came, including Vivekananda, what did he teach? His guru taught him 64 very difficult practices. I won't say them. I will just confuse you if I say it. I confuse me if I think about them. But when he came to his disciples, that's Guru Parampara. He taught him, he taught his disciples. He taught, you pray to the Divine Mother like a child. You pray to the Kali like a child to its mother. Right? And then that all desires for the world, Kamini Kanchan, are destroyed by this simple act. Right? So this is a unique presentation of special mercy of Divine Mother Kali in this age through her dear child and incarnation, and his dear child and vehicle, Vivekananda. I very much appreciate, when Swamiji invited me to come, I felt it was Swamiji's own invitation. And there's a verse in the Gita that says that the Lord fulfills the noble desires of the devotees, right? And I've only had a few noble desires in my life, right? And each one of them, sometime 20 years later, get fulfilled, right? And one of which, years ago, I'm watching Swami Vivekananda do Puja, when I was still learning Puja at the time, in the other room. I was like, look, we need to worship these pictures of Sri Ramakrishna. So he fulfilled that very much with that. Sri Ramakrishna Jai Thakur, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The time was 6 minutes late, so
it's okay.
I'll make up.
We'd like to thank Swami Bhajanananda for coming today and sharing his wonderful experiences. One suggestion is that in their Kali Mandir, every year they have a big puja towards Mother Kali. And it's usually in July?
Sometime like that. Right?
Around July.
It's a Falaharni Kali Puja.
Yeah.
The talk about worship Kali Mother.
Yes. And so it's worth going to. I think it's actually for 3 days. Is it 3
Well, now
days?
we used to do it. We used to bring the priest from Dakshineshwar.
Right.
We had, but our
So the actual
head
priest
passed away. So
Right.
now we're still doing the festival. We used to rent a school, and it was a big thing to bring the priest. But things have changed. He was the head priest at Dakshineshwar for 53 years. And he's the one that installed our Murti of Kali. And so our puja tradition is from the Dakshineshwar taught by him. So we're still brokenhearted about his untimely passing. So now we still do it, we do it at the temple.
I see.
Yeah.
See, they used to invite the actual priest at Dakshineshwar to come to their place every year, and he would do the Kali Puja. So, is he a relative?
Yeah, he's by marriage, he's in Ramakrishna's family. Yeah.
I see. So it is in the summertime. If you haven't, it's only about an hour 50-minute drive from here. So you should try to go.
But I thought parking's limited there.
Parking is limited, so you have to make some arrangements.
I can't get to the RSVP.
Yeah, call. We're having more problems with parking because of the neighbors, so that's why we're doing more limits. We can't have big crowds. That once a year crowd, Falaharni, we have arrangements with neighbors. Our problem is like Shama Kali Puja, we had 420 people.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And we have 40 parking spaces and room for 100 people. So that's non-sustainable.
You need to get a shuttle bus.
Yeah, so we're having to make adjustments. Our normal monthly things we're no longer doing the big programs. We're doing special big pujas throughout the year, and just more. We're kind of switching more to ashram mode than big public mode. Anyway, we can discuss that. I don't know this time.
So thank you everyone for coming, and so if you're new, we have lectures on Sundays, and many of you may know Swami Sarvapriyananda, the Swami who's our new assistant minister. He'll be giving a retreat in the first week of March on Saturday.